We'll be live eventually. Hey, look.
It is. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Algorithm versus the experts. I'm John Batanti. That is Josh Moody. We're going to break down UFC Fight Night, Dern versus Jan for you. We're going to give you some picks. We're going to give you some sharp bets. It's Wednesday night. If you want to get some bets in and make the bookie say, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? I'm going to give you two of them. You guarantee you two of them. Had a week off from MMA, from UFC fights, honestly, not MMA. But I think it's pretty good. We got a card this week, and then there's a break, and then there's two big card on the 15th, and then the big card everybody's waiting for on the 22nd. But good to have everybody back on the show. Josh, how you feeling?
I'm doing pretty good. It's took a couple days off, just overtraining, sat back. Weirdly enough, lost a bunch of weight while I wasn't training. So, right, it's been all right. Currently listening to my kids scream because she refuses to go to bed. Just refuses.
Oh, I hear it now. Yeah, she doesn't like to go to. She does that a lot, huh? Still, she doesn't want to.
Didn't know you could hear it.
I can now because I heard it before on the because I heard her doing it before when we talked sometimes at your last house. So I can hear it a little bit. Now I can't hear it, but I heard it for a second before. Does she just not want to? Does she not want to sleep, or does she just not want to be away from you?
Both, because it starts the moment you put her in the crib.
I see.
Like, she loses her mind as soon as she recognizes that that's the direction she's headed.
Right. Which
her brother's in there with her, so it's not like she's alone.
Right. Oh, how does he handle that? What does he do when she's doing that? Because he
tells her to go to sleep and goes to sleep himself.
He falls asleep when she's screaming like that right in front of her? Oh, that's a talent.
Yeah.
I can't do that. That's
kids are He's such a wiener.
My son is currently, as he's trying to sleep, is springing himself off of the couch. My wife's holding him down, and he's screaming like, rah, rah, rah. Yeah, he's having a late night surge of sorts. But we got fights this weekend. We got fist fights. What do we got? Randy Costa, Guido Canetti. Who you got?
So Guido Canetti's been in the UFC forever, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's still here. He's been here for that long, and he's like 50. I think he's 44. 42. All right, I'm adding a lot of years onto this guy's life that he did not actually have. But still, he's 42, fighting at 135 pounds.
Yeah.
Doesn't fight that often. Which is probably why he's still here. Like, he took a 3-year gap from 2015 to 2018, and then took off another gap 2018 to 2020. But he's been in the UFC since 2014. So it's just it's an interesting trajectory that he's on. It kind of explains he's got a lot of losses within the promotion. Usually, you see these guys that can hold on longer. They are power-based fighters. Your your strength is the last thing to go as you age. So usually these guys are able to develop a system where it's built around like their touch of death, right?
Right.
That's kind of what it looked like with Canetti. He's getting better and better at using footwork, staying at distance, and then blitzes you. Not even blitz you, just hits you with a nuclear warhead if he can.
Yeah, that sure.
Said, Randy Costa is a super slick striker. Super slick striker. Tons of head kicks. Works really, really well off of a jab. Was out jabbing Adrian Yanez for an entire round, which is super impressive because Yanez is a very, very, very good boxer in MMA. Only problem is Costa fades. Fades pretty hard. So if Costa can get the job done early, he's got this. And if it goes later, maybe Kennedy's able to clip him and cause some problems. I've got Costa, but I wouldn't expect him to be winning round 3.
That is okay. So like Kennedy's coming off. He looked pretty good last time. He had impressive finish of a tough guy, Moutinho, and he's the guy that took 186,000 punches from Sean O'Malley that night. So Kennedy looked really good in that fight. His losses, he's lost to good guys. He's lost to some tough ass guys. He's got knocked out. With that being said, he's lost, like you said, he's lost a lot of fights in the promotion, 9-6 overall. I think that performance last time kind of saved him. I probably would have been on the cut list. So I think his chin is questionable at this point, just not given his age. I mean, I don't really buy the age thing. I think there's a lot of people out there that can win a fight at 45 or less. There's still guys that are really good that have been training, and we see people fighting. They're fighting at older. People are fighting older. People are playing pro sports older in general. So I don't think. I think the first thing you'll see, like handicappers or prediction shows, they always go, he's getting like 38, 39 or something. Like I don't really buy that. I don't think that's that relevant. I think these guys are these guys are really well trained and they can handle themselves for 10 or 15 minutes.
Do you think that's more relevant in sports where you have to perform more frequently?
Yeah, I do. I think
baseball.
I think so. I think for as far as fight, it depends on your position in certain sports. Like if your arm's still good, you can pitch until you're 45, 50. You might not be able to be a starting pitcher, but you can come out of the bullpen and pitch an inning. You can play a quarter if you can still move and be mobile like Tom Brady. You'll be able to play. You can play quarterback. People are just playing sports older. You'll probably never see an NBA player be able to play that long. But you're fighting once or twice a year, like you touched on. You can, if you have so many years of training at that point, you can, if you're in shape and
staying in the gym and you just bring it all together.
Age is just a number. If you're on top of your diet, your recovery, all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, why can't you? Yeah, you're still performing highly. I mean, most people know when they're in the gym or not. That's the thing. But it's I did. Maybe it's because I'm over 42. I'm biased, so I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit biased. Like we're doing great things from 40 to 45 guys. But for this fight in general, I don't know if so much it's his age. I think it's his questionable chin. I think the reach discrepancy is another thing. I think that's all going against them. I think this is a really close fight. I don't agree with the line. Like I don't trust Costa at minus 250. I'm picking him to win this fight, but I mean he's coming off some losses recently that question his chin. It's tough. I'm not going to back his side. I'm going to pick Costa to win the fight for our sake, but this is a closer fight than minus 250 because Kennedy has a ton of experience too, and this fight should be in his wheelhouse. This should be a stand-up battle. So.
All right. Julija Stoliarenko versus Chelsea Chandler. Yo, I'm actually super excited for this fight.
Is that Charlie's owner, Chelsea Chandler? That's not the same fighter, right? I'm thinking of Charlie's first owner.
No.
Your dog? No, that's not.
No. That's Killer Miller.
Oh, right.
Miller. No, Chelsea Chandler was supposed to be fighting Leah Letson. And Leah had to pull out. So I went and started watching Chelsea Chandler fights. And this girl knocks people down. Like, a lot. Like, in every single round that I watched, knocked a girl down.
Right.
That's what happened. Even girls that knock people out usually don't knock them down. This girl has devastating striking. Devastating in her hand.
I was wondering why I saw the line open even money over because Stoliarenko, she's tough. She's very tough, and she looked great her last fight. I was wondering how, and Chelsea Chandler had no UFC fights. I was wondering how she opened even money, and so far that's held. Like the even money line has held. So
yeah, because she touches them and they crumble.
Wow, I mean that makes a lot of sense, honestly.
And then she submits him. She immediately flies. She doesn't bother trying to finish him on the ground with strikes. She tries to submit them while they're dazed. So I think she's 4-1 with I think three first round finishes and 1 second round finish, something like that. Oh no. She has 2 decisions and 2 finishes. But she seriously, she just knocks girls down. It's stupid to see it. So I'm leaning towards Chandler. Julija has a whole ton of fights across so many different styles of combat. But she just hasn't done super well as of late. I mean, she did just fine in the Jessica Rose Clark fight.
Yeah, but that went her way.
Yeah. But like Alexis Davis and Julia, yeah. I don't know. I don't think Stoliarenko really has all of what we'd be looking for to keep her at the top. So I am going with Chelsea Chandler.
You're going with Chelsea Chandler. Yeah. I didn't do much research on this. On this fight. Now after you telling me that, yeah, I would definitely I'm not gonna change my pick just for intents and purposes and thing, but I think I might bet Chandler now. I just think Stoliarenko be really tough. I think I talked about before on the show, the winningest angle in MMA is when people step into the promotion or start stepping up in rankings. Like I know Bo Nickel has looked absolutely phenomenal. But he's had 3 pro fights and these guys didn't really have much for him in any department. He's going to get tested soon. Like, I don't know. I think this is still a test for Chandler, but maybe it's not. Maybe she's just going to fucking power through Stoliarenko. So I'm going to go with Stoliarenko. I think she's a good I think she's a little bit really tough and a little bit undervalued, given her skill set. She's decent striker, but she's pretty good grappler. She's top heavy and she finds arm bars a lot, which isn't really a good thing. I don't think you can just have fucking 80% of your finishes are arm bars. That's pretty strange. I think that's more opponent based, right? I don't think anyone's that good to be like, I'm going to armbar you every single time. I don't know. Like you just kind of catch it, but I like it. Stoliarenko. So Stoliarenko by knockout is live. I think I'm going to add that. Stoliarenko by finish. I'm sorry, Chandler by finish. After what you're saying, if she's got the power, I think Chandler by finish could be a live bet. All right, we got him next. Maxine Grishen versus Felipe Linz. I am totally off the Felipe Linz train. I backed him again last time. and I didn't like what I saw, so I'm completely off the Felipe Linz train. Give me Maxine Grishen all day here. I have a bet on him. Minus 150. You can still get him at minus 165. I think that is a really good price. I think Maxine Grishen should be about minus 250 in this matchup. Felipe Linz, if he didn't win his last fight, he's going to have a lot of hard time winning a lot of fights. So I got Maxime Grishen. The last fight, he won the first round, and I think against Prachnio. And yeah, still didn't go his way after that.
Why do you think
Linz got the decision? I'm sorry. So Linz got the decision against Prachnio that time. I see. He got the decision. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm not buying Linz. That decision went his way, but I didn't really like it. He went back to light heavyweight. I'm going with Grishen.
Why minus 250?
I think with Linz's, I don't like Linz's gas tank. I don't like his skill set. I think Grishen measures up really well here. He's got way more fights. Linz is kind of still trying to find a home in a weight class. I know that he won the fight last time, but I don't like the way he looked in that fight. I think that was more of Prachnio gassing out and underperforming, and Linz didn't really take that by the horns and win the fight. It still had to go. It was a questionable decision, but I like Grishen here. I like Grishen a lot. I think he's got a big advantage.
I also like Grishen here. He's a veteran. I mean, he's had 42 fights, 44 fights, something like that. He's a very calculated fighter from what I've seen. Maybe
he doesn't get finished. He doesn't get finished often out of his things.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 9 losses, which is, it's a decent amount. But with 43
fights though.
Yeah. But he's pretty calculated. He just got to the UFC, but he's been fighting he didn't just get to the UFC. This will be his 5th UFC fight. But he has been in other high-level organizations for a while. Like, he's got a bunch of PFL fights. I think he had a bunch of Bellator fights in here somewhere too. M1 Global, that's a good promotion. A ton of M1 Global. That's what it is. Ton of M1 fights. So he's been fighting in like solid promotions. It's not like he's losing to these terrible scrubs. I mean, his second ever fight, he fought a guy who was 13-5. Like, losing that fight is not a big deal.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of experience. Fought Magomed Ankalaev.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, fought Tybura, Dustin Jacoby. Like, he's fought a lot of dudes. And I don't think that Felipe Linz, who I thought looked good in the beginning, but I don't know. Linz is the one that was in Bellator before he was in the PFL.
Yeah, he was very hyped in the UFC. Like, he had hype behind him when he got to the UFC. Linz, for sure. But I really haven't seen anything impressive or like improvements out of him. And I think I've mentioned before, when people start changing weight classes, I don't look at that as a good sign personally. It usually means like you're on life support of something. You need to make some adjustments. It works for some people, but I feel like I'd say like 70-80% it doesn't work. It's like but
his weight class change doesn't bother me because he was going up in weight. Like, the fact that he's coming back down is a little confusing to me. But having been a light heavyweight that went up to heavyweight, that seemed pretty normal to me. Realizing that he didn't want to make that cut when you're like that 235. Like, if you're walking around at 235 pounds, and you look at all the heavyweight champions at 240 pounds, it's like, why? So, I don't know.
All right.
Thinking Grishen. We got next Brendan Allen versus Christoph Yatko.
All right. Yeah. I like Yatko here. This is a tough fight. It's a pick. It's pretty much a pick fight. The line is very close. For good reason. I mean, Brendan Allen's been a huge favorite in, I think, 4 of his past 5 fights. And Brendan Allen's good. He's got game. Great submission guy. I think he really shines on the mat. He's really good. The problem is, to me, I like Yatko because Yatko just has really good takedown defense. I mean, he's not known for his knockout power, but you can't take him down, and he can start technically piecing you apart. The times I've seen Brendan Allen struggle are times that he either doesn't fights more to his opponent's wheelhouse, like against Chris Curtis, and he got knocked out, or when he can't get the fight to the ground. His last fight was more of like a grappling battle against a really good wrestler, and Allen got the better of him. But he didn't fight like a minus 500 favorite like he was. I think he won a split decision, but I'm gonna go. I like Yatko. How about you?
I have grown to be more and more of a Brendan Allen fan.
It's good.
The more things he tries out. Yeah, man. I think he's putting together a lot of interesting pieces. And he's getting a couple of decisions along the way, and he's had a couple of losses along the way. But none of, every loss he has is to a current UFC fighter. Dating back to his first loss in 2016, all of those guys that he's lost who are currently in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a ton of finishes on his record, and he's always training out of good camps. Like, he always shows up. Has he ever shown and looked terrible?
He looked pretty bad against Chris Curtis. I mean, he lost the first round, then he got knocked out in the second round, and he was a huge favorite. But he said it. I think he talked. He's like, I didn't fight. Like, he didn't fight. He kind of just fought He kind of did everything Chris Curtis wanted to do. He didn't do anything to his. I don't think he shot at any takedowns. He was just striking wildly, and he ended up getting caught and knocked out. But no, he's Brandon Allen's. Brandon Allen's usually he's there all the time. He brings it usually.
Yeah. Man. I don't know if he's going to be able to take Yatko down. And if he doesn't take Yatko down, he'll probably lose a decision. Ooh. Do I not think that he's going to win this? I was thinking Allen was going to win this. But the more I think about it, the less confident I am.
That's how I am. That's how I feel about Chelsea Chandler and my Stoliarenko pick. But
yeah, I don't think that Brendan Allen is going to be able to take down Yatko, and if he doesn't take down Yatko, Yatko is likely to win a boring decision.
Yeah, I could see that.
If Brendan Allen gets the takedown, he should beat up Yatko pretty bad. And Yatko's good on the bottom.
Right.
He was purple belt.
Got to keep him down. Yeah.
What, 7? I met him 7 years ago, and he was a purple belt then. So he's got to be good now.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with Allen, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a Yatko decision.
All right. Not at all. All right, Joaquim Silva, Jesse Ronson. I really like Jesse Ronson in this spot. The reason being, so he had a UFC stint beforehand, and his big thing was he had shit takedown defense. He came back, and he still has shit takedown defense because he got taken down and Rafa Garcia submitted him. But he doesn't have to worry about that here. So Silva's, even though he's got the Brazilian name, I mean, from what I've seen about him and things, he's a brawler. He does not attempt or do many takedowns. I think Ronson's much more bigger. He hasn't been stopped via strikes in a really long time. So I think that really plays into his hands, into Ronson's hands here. I think this is going to be a slugfest. I like Jesse Ronson. I got Jesse Ronson to win this fight. That's what I got. How about you?
Jesse Ronson goes for more takedowns than Joaquim Silva.
Jesse Ronson.
And they have basically the same amount of submission attempts. I was thinking about Joaquim Silva, but the jiu-jitsu guy that doesn't.
Maxine Grishen just moved up to -200. If you're listening, I'm telling you, bet him now. He's probably going to be -250 come fight time. Sorry.
No worries. I'm sticking with Silva, but I don't know, man. He gets hit too much, and for your nickname to be jiu-jitsu, if you're gonna go under a moniker of BJJ, you better be utilizing your BJJ, and that he's not going to be using it. Also, this is going to be two southpaws, so it's going to be a weird fight. They're both probably not going to be very comfortable. Don't expect this to be a good fight.
No, I don't expect that at all. But next one, we got, Jess Penne, Tabitha Ricky, ladies. I jumped over Jess Penne as soon as I saw this. I saw Jess Penne +185. You can still get her at about +170, +165. Yeah, I've seen nothing really that impressive of Tabitha Ricci. If Pollyanna Viana wasn't so fight IQ brain dead, she could have easily won that last fight. Tabitha Ricci has shitty wrestling, in my opinion. She wants to get the fight to the mat and dominate there. Jess Penny's a really good grappler and has a lot of experience. She's been in there. She's been fighting since the beginning. I think Jess Penny has a 5-inch reach advantage. I think she's a better striker than Ricci, but not by much. But I think that plays out to their advantage. I don't think she's going to get taken down that easily. I don't think she's going to get dominated once she's down there. Ricci, I mean, look at Ricci's striking stats. I've seen overall since their thing. I mean, it's almost non-existent. She's just she's just not a striker. But I don't know. I think this is dog. I think this has dog has value all day. Jess Penne getting the win.
Nope. Jessica Penne does have a 6-inch reach advantage and a 4-inch height advantage, but both of them get hit almost twice as often as they hit. But Jessica Penne doesn't go for enough takedowns, given that she's a grappler. 1.39 takedowns per 15 minutes to Tabitha Ricci's 4. Also, Penne only lands 21% of her takedowns. Path, her most consistent path to victory is through grappling, but her grappling statistics are trash. Ricci's are more impressive in every way. She's younger. I bet you she's been more active. Let's see, 4 fights in 2021. This will be your second fight in 2022. One fight in 2020, and then apparently took a number of years off, or fought in these weird custom rules fights, whatever those are. Midsummer Night Star. I don't even want to know. This is weird. But man, at Penny's gonna be like should be 10 or 40 by the time we get there, get this fight.
Well, but it is Kelly, so you might.
Yeah, I got to have with Ricci. Like all day, every day.
All day, every day. All right.
The Boa Constrictor, Alexei Olenek versus Ilir Latifi.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I'm an Olenek fan. I think you like Olenek too, but
I love me some Alexei Olenek.
I mean, his wrestling was never that great. As you saw in maybe his last fight, he kind of just has to pull you or do something to get you down. He has no shot of taking Ilir Latifi down. Ilir Latifi's a really good wrestler. I mean, can they fall down somehow? Yes. Ilir Latifi's a strong dude too. I don't know.
He's a smart grappler as well.
Okay, I definitely see that. I mean, this is going to be a boring. It could be a really boring fight, but I mean, I just see Latifi land. I mean, I do question Olenek's chin at this point. I mean, he's been finished a lot. I mean, I see Latifi just not getting taken down and landing some big enough shots to keep him off him. I don't know how Olenek wins the fight. I don't think he does. I got Latifi.
I want to say, well, so yes, Alexei Olenek is not going to take down Latifi.
I don't think so.
And I want to say that Latifi's smart enough not to grapple with Olenek. But I just see him sitting in closed guard.
Okay.
I see Olenek pulling guard. Right, which he does all the time. When his takedown doesn't work, he pulls guard.
Right.
And I feel like Latifi's the type who's confident enough in his top game to sit in Olenek's guard. Does Olenek finish people off his back? I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, I think he's pulled off some Ezekiel's from the bottom. I think he did like one or two.
Scarf hold, armbar from Maurice Green. I don't know if that was off his back or from the mount. Rear naked choke, Ezekiel from the bottom, neck crank, Ezekiel. No, he doesn't really finish people off of his back. He finds ways to get on top. Yeah, Latifi's going to win this fight, but I wouldn't be surprised to watch him be on top of Olenek's closed guard for 3 minutes.
Yeah, I could see him doing that. I could see him just sitting on him and doing some ground and pound, boring ground and pound, something.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that pitch? Strike if I ever seen one. Boy. Yeah, what's next?
We have Mike Davis versus Vyacheslav
Yeah, please. I don't know. I have no idea who Mike Davis is. I apologize. I know Slava Claus, but so you please talk about this fight.
Mike Davis has been around for a little bit now, and he's got.
I don't know much about him.
He's been in the UFC for like 5 years, 6 years, 4 years, and his losses. He was undefeated when he got to the UFC, and his losses are to 2 really good fighters, Sadiq Youssef and Gilbert Burns. Shortly after Gilbert Burns beat him, I think this was Gilbert's last fight at 155, and then he went up and fought for a title like right after, right? Like He was kind of the entry into Gilbert's stardom, if you will. And then he lost a decision to Sadiq Youssef on the Contender Series. But other than that, he's looked pretty good. Beat 10-0 Mason Jones. Yeah, in Mason's UFC debut. What else did he get? He's a good striker, but he's pretty well-rounded, too. From what I remember, he can kind of fight anywhere. And I think that's what's going to be necessary for him to beat Slava Claus. Slava Claus is supposed to be some, like, world-class striker. And what we saw was, Mike Davis's strikes landed and strikes absorbed are both in the 6s. That's stupid high. It's much more common to see people at like 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4.5 is like a fighter with a high work rate. He's well over 6.
Mm-hmm.
This dude gets in your face, gets to business fast. I think he should be able to take down Slava Claus and should be able to win this.
Agree. All right. Yeah, I can't really comment much. I got Mike Davis just as the default pick in a sense. Won't be betting it, but I know Slava Claus struggled mightily with the takedowns the last fight, and it was pretty apparent. If Mike Davis has some wrestling in his pocket, yeah, that'll help him a lot here. What do we got next? John Castaneda?
Yeah, Castaneda.
Is he the sexy Maxi?
He's the sexy Maxi.
Yeah, he's I think he's one of the bigger favorites on the card. I think he's about minus 250. So he is right now. Not sleeping on Daniel Santos. I mean, he's from Chute Box, Diego Lima. I've seen I've seen a lot of Castaneda. I don't remember last if I've seen Santos' fight. Castaneda's good. Not betting it, but I got Castaneda.
Santos has 2 spinning back kick finishes, which is very uncommon.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have nearly the experience of the sexy Maxi. Also, the Mexi's fighting out of a school that's fairly close to me that I've been to a couple times. They're really good. He's fighting out of the academy in Minneapolis.
Mm-hmm.
I did not see any of his UFC fights. He has a ton of Combate Americas experience, like a ton. Yeah. That's a solid promotion. So his fights have been against quality opposition. I mean, he's got fights against 13 and 11. This other guy, 45 and 24. Like, that dude has a lot of experience, and he took the long way to get here. Like, this is his 4th UFC fight.
Mm-hmm.
And he's 19 and 5 at 30 years old. So, super experienced fighter against a guy I don't really know a lot about. I'm leaning towards the sexy Maxi, John Castaneda.
Me too. Got him. Next fight. So, Super Sadiq Youssef taking on Don Shanis, stepping in short notice and taking this fight. Sadiq is like, he's a giant favorite. He's over minus 1,000. I mean, for good reason. He's going to win this fight. I mean, he's got 5-inch reach advantage. He's got a strength advantage. He has every advantage to win this fight. He's not going to lose this fight. Don Shainis, I mean, does he have some knockouts on his record? He does. He's won the first round. I think his last 3 fights. I'm looking at it now, but he fought Jay Ellis. Jay Ellis is like a legend. Jay Ellis is from Milwaukee, actually. I think he fights every month. He's a pro MMA fighter. He's 16-104 in his record. He just drives around the country, just finds fights like once a month, and just gets knocked out in the first round. He's won 1 out of his last like 50 fights or something. Like it's so crazy. But I mean, the guy's just he just likes to fight. He just wants to get in there and he just enjoys it. So not judging him at all.
Not about liking the fight as much as it is wanting a paycheck.
I don't know what he's getting paid though, driving around, or he ain't flying, from small promotions. I don't know, but hey, whatever. Huh?
A lot of them will fly you in, especially so a lot of these fights that he's fighting. He's fighting a guy that he's supposed to set up, like a guy that's supposed to look good.
Yeah.
So they'll pay to have that fight go the way it's supposed to go.
Okay.
We paid him to come in and work as a sparring partner.
Yeah. You heard of him?
I've met him.
Oh, all right.
A number of times. I've seen him fight a couple times.
Okay.
I've seen him, he's banned from every gym in the city.
What?
Yeah. It's just there's a reason that he's got all these losses. He doesn't actually train for fights. He just shows up and fights and takes a paycheck and then goes back to whatever his day job is. But like, he can train at like open mats, but he'll steal from you.
Oh,
like,
so
he'll go in the locker room and rob every single person in the gym.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, so he's an asshole. He's just a dick.
He's fought everybody. He's fought absolutely everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is an insane amount of fights.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah, he probably is just he's a check grabbing, like trying to cash a check and shit. Like and he's probably it makes sense. You're stealing shit. Like he just money hungry, or something. But hey, sucks. Hope he finds something what he's looking for. But nonetheless, back to Don Shainis. Yeah, like I guess we're leading to like I kind of gave a glance at the people he's fought and his record. Like he doesn't have many wins over guys that are barely above 500. And I don't know the quality of those guys either. I think he has 2 wins of guys with winning records. So I mean, he's not going to win this fight, barring an injury. It's just a matter of is Sadiq going to finish him or not. I don't think he's been finished ever. Okay, he got finished once, his first fight ever. So we both got Sadiq.
Yeah, I really just don't. I don't know who this guy is, and it's not worth betting on the unknown guy here.
He's not winning the fight. Yeah, he's not winning that fight.
Isn't this? You said it's short notice.
Yeah, he stepped in about a week. I think about a week or 2 ago, he stepped in. Yusuf had another fight, and that got canceled.
All right, our next fight is Raoni Barcelos.
Raoni Barcelos, Trevin Jones. Yeah. So Barcelos carries a great record behind him, 16-3. Coming off 2 losses though. He was pretty sloppy against Tamir Valiev, and he didn't win the fight. And then he was a gigantic favorite, like -600 or 700, against a Contender Series graduate his last fight, and he got worked. He lost all 3 rounds, I think, on 2 or 3 judges' scorecards. Striking battle. Yeah, I think Fuck. I'm sorry. I thought the ground was shaking, but we don't get earthquakes around here. I think Barcelos has enough to win this fight. Jones has a reach advantage though. I mean, he's got power too. I don't. It wouldn't shock me, like if he finishes. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to see like the ways. Like, no, Barcelos should win this fight. He should get back in the win column. This is made for him to win this fight. I got Barcelos.
Yeah, definitely Barcelos should have this. The guy that he lost to is extremely talented.
Yeah.
Extremely talented. Trevin Jones has just not looked good. He's had, 1, 2, 3, 4 fights in the UFC. He didn't look good in any of the ones that I saw. So I don't expect that he's going to look good in this one. I got Raoni Barcelos. Your next fight is Randy Rude Boy Brown versus Maso Ronduba, Francisco Trinaldo.
You love that name. I like the
Maso
Ronduba. So here, Maso Ronduba is a good example. He's not a spring chicken. He's what, 45?
44.
44. Yeah, so he's 44. And he's out here banging with. He definitely won his last 2 fights, though. This is a little different, though. Trinaldo, he's still got power. He's got power, and he's fucking explosive. Don't sleep on him, but he's got a lot. I mean, what I've seen at Randy Brown's a stud. Randy Brown's gonna have an 8-inch reach advantage, and he's got really long legs too. So his kicks, everything. But Trinaldo, I mean, he can clock you. He's got power still. From what I've seen, he was explosive. His last 2 fights, actually, I liked his last. He still looked like he had some. He knocked out Jai Herbert too. He's beat a lot of guys. Bobby Green, John McDessie. Wow, lost a solid call, but okay, unanimously. He's not getting finished a lot. He's tough. I think the reach, Randy Brown's distance management is just going to be too much. Randy Brown got knocked out though. You know, he's been knocked out twice. Nico Price and Luque. So if he catches him, I think if Trinaldo catches him, maybe. I think he's only got a round to do that before his power. He's a little diminished. We'll see, but I got Randy Brown winning this fight.
Well, Maso Ronduba's been in the UFC for 10 years.
He's a legend.
Right? He's been around forever. Let's see. What is the stance of Maso Ronduba? This is going to be a striking battle. Neither one of these guys is huge into takedowns. They might do a little bit of clinching, but it'd be very unlikely to see them readily going after takedowns.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them strike or land more than they get hit, which is always nice to see. Maso Ronduba's entire game is built around throwing a giant left hand, and then finding as many ways to throw that giant left hand as possible. Where you're like, well, I can't believe you're still using a hammer on something that is clearly not a nail. And he's like, no, but you don't understand. When I turn it this direction, it works just like a screwdriver. Like, all right, man, I guess. Like, look, I'm 44. I've been doing this forever. It works. And you're like, okay, all right. But he's not wrong. It does work better than anybody else. He's got stupid power. As if Randy Brown can work off of his jab and can maintain that distance, I think the Brain Shaker's got it. Randy Brown tells about this T-shirt that say "Professional Brain Shaker" on them. It's a brain inside of a milkshake cup with a straw. It's delightful. Brain Shaker, so awesome. Oh, I gotta back into some lights.
He said that's delightful.
It is. That's a delightful way to put it. Brain shaker.
Great.
So yeah, I got rude boy.
Yeah, I got the rude boy too. All right, where's that bring us to?
Levi.
We are at the main event. We got your girl, Mackenzie Dern, Zhao Yan. Weird nickname, 9. Don't know number 9, but Zhao Yan last 2 fights. 2 fights ago, Carla Esparza absolutely smashed her. That I did in a way that I'm a Carla Esparza fan, but it was a way that I didn't think Carla actually possessed. Like, it could just smash someone like that into a TKO win. So that I'm not the biggest. Be right back. Sorry, I'm not the biggest. I don't know. I don't know what to make of Mackenzie Dern at this point. She clearly struggles with. She can't take anyone down. Her jiu-jitsu is amazing, I'm sure, for jiu-jitsu tournaments. She has great positions against some high-level girls, and she's not submitting them. Marina Rodriguez beat, who was a better fighter, got her last time. Like after the second round, Mackenzie Dern isn't taking you down in a 3 or 5 round fight, and she didn't get the. She got the win last time. She showed a lot of heart. She can take punch. She gets hit, and she's definitely tough. She's not getting knocked out. Down on Yan has all the striking advantage. She's fast. Her hands are fast. She lost a split decision to Marina Rodriguez last fight, which it was a great fight. I mean, yeah, this is a striker versus grappler. If Yan can fend off takedowns, is this a 5-round fight? It's a main event. It is, isn't it?
Yep.
Oh fuck no, yeah. Nah, I mean, Dern's got to get this fight down. If she gets, I mean, obviously she does, but I wouldn't bet her at all. No, -230. No, bet the submission prop. That's how she wins. That's how she's going to win this fight. 5 rounds. She's not going to win this fight if it goes 5 rounds. Other than she's going to get. She won't win. She'll probably get knocked out. Actually, she'll probably get 5 rounds. Jan's fast. Jan's hand speed is there. What do you think?
You think she'll get knocked out if it goes 5 rounds?
It won't go 5 rounds. Yeah, if it goes, I don't think, even though she can take a punch, I don't think she's going to get to the finish line in this if it goes past if it goes past 2 rounds. But she did go the distance with Marina Rodriguez, so maybe she can get there. Shit.
Take a guess what Mackenzie Dern's takedown percentages, her accuracy is.
22.
What was that? 22?
I'll say like 22% or something like that.
It's the lowest I've ever seen.
It's that bad?
9.
Oh my God! 9, which is Zhao Yan's nickname. So is that an omen of sorts? What's that telling us?
It might be an omen. It might be an omen.
There's got to be something there.
That's insanity. Who did she successfully take down? She took down Marina Rodriguez. She took down Nina Nunes.
And she didn't submit her, and she
took down Ashley Yoder.
She did submit Nina Nunes, yeah, and she looked good doing so. But Rodriguez and Tisha Torres, they defended her submissions pretty well. And Mackenzie Dern she was crafty in the last fight. She did some fucking jumping off the cage and flipping shit, but she still didn't get these. She's not getting submissions. I don't know what it was. Like, she just I remember her running and flipping herself around off the cage and trying to. And she got Torres' back. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Team Alpha Male. Are they going to have Jan's takedown defense ready to fend Dern off?
Is Jan a willing grappler?
No.
No? If it goes to the ground, you think she stands up? I mean, she got out grappled by Claudia Gadelia.
She's not a willing grappler, no. She doesn't want to grapple. She wants to strike.
I think Mackenzie's going to make it happen. That 9% takedown defense has me worried, but I think she's going to make it happen.
Yeah. I got Dern. I mean, or did I pick this fight? No, I didn't pick this fight.
Mm-mm.
Nah, I'm not going. I'm just not sold on Mackenzie Dern. She had amazing position. I just think people. God, what am I doing? Jan looks so bad though against Carla on the ground. Dern could definitely submit her. Has to be able to submit her. If she can't submit her, fuck, who's she submitting? All right, I'll go with Jan. I'll go against. I'll be a sport.
You're going with Jan? All right.
I'm gonna go with Jan.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Hey, if you love our picks, wonderful.
You should.
If you hate our picks and you think that we know nothing about MMA, please
That's cool
let
too.
us know in the comments. Please let us know. I'll fight with you personally. I will personally argue with you in the comments about how little you know about MMA when you tell me that I don't know anything. It'll be so much fun. I promise to only call you a scrub once or twice. That being said, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Right? Go tell a friend, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell your neighbor, tell your grandmother.
Tell an enemy.
Break into your neighbor's house, and when they ask you, what are you doing here? Say, you need to know. You need to know about this. I can make you some fat stacks of cash if you would just follow the picks of Algorithm versus the Experts. They know their shit.
I like it.
This is obviously the only sane way for you to support us.
You've got to jump on our picks, guys. Yes, please. Jump on this. Jump on the show.
Incredibly well. I don't understand how gambling or math works, but
It's okay. We take care of all that for you. You don't have to know either. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit us up. Interested to see your thoughts. Email, contact, or drop us a comment on the channel. Ooh.
All right. Toodaloo, motherfucker.
We out.